Muhammad's revelations, right? So some of these are just a little bit too convenient, right? And most of these happen in the second half of his life, where, once he starts going to battle and different things, all of a sudden he's having this, God's telling him specific things about going to battle, or, dealing with his wives, or, like he can have more wives than anybody else because God said so. Now, that's a little bit too convenient, okay? His revelations aren't even in the same person, right? So if God is really speaking through Gabriel directly to Muhammad, and then somebody's like writing this stuff down, okay, it should all be in the same person, right? It should be God saying, I say this to you, don't do this, do the, whatever. It should all, but it's not phrased in the same person. Some of it's in first person, some of it's in third person, some of it is directly relatable to Muhammad's personal life, and it's just, it seems a little bit too convenient that he would get these revelations from God that would give him permission to do this and that. God doesn't have anything else better to do but to talk to this one guy about his own problems. So the other prophets that are within Islam. So the first 15 prophets listed in the Quran, there's no evidence for, right? So I'm just going to name a few of these off, right? Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, okay? So there's no evidence for any of these four. And those are, four big ones. Those are obviously, people know those names and know the stories behind them, but they're not based in reality. There was no Garden of Eden. There was no real place that's all metaphorical. I mean, even the people who wrote those stories knew not to take them as literal stories, okay? I mean, it goes against science. You can't believe in the Garden of Eden and believe in science at the same time. It's just not possible. Noah, the flood, obviously that didn't happen. It's impossible. There's all kinds of reasons why Noah's flood didn't happen. Abraham, and so here's a guy who's going to kill his own kid because God tells him to, and that's supposed to be a good thing, and God says, oh, hold up at the last second, and, I was just kidding, and whatever, it was just a test. That's not a good story, okay? If you're willing to kill your kid because you hear a voice in your head, you think God is telling you to kill your kid, I would probably go get some help, You might want to work some things out before you go through with that. Moses, the whole parting the Red Sea, the Ten Commandments. I mean, there's all kinds of problems with these stories. I mean, there really isn't any evidence of a large Jewish group being enslaved by the Egyptians, okay? So maybe it was a small group, maybe it was, it just, the Bible makes a bigger deal out of things that may have happened in history, but they were much smaller events in the big picture of things.